Stu and Dave Do America present North Korea versus job interview.
I was in the process of saying, we get a lot of imposter candidates, particularly North Koreans, posing as people that they're not. So one of the tests that we do is trying to get them to say something like Kim Jong-un is a fat ugly pig. Could you say that for me?
Yeah, I should say like that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could, because it's one test so that I know that you're not North Korean.
Yeah.
Can you say it?
That's good.
It's like trying to get an Italian general to admit his favorite restaurant is Olive Garden. I see right through it.
Well, I will say, speaking of Asian spies,
yes,
we've got many of them to talk about today because we're talking and doing Eric Swalwell. Welcome to Stu and Dave Do America. I'm Stu Bergier. This is my co-host, Dave Landau.
We meet again.
We do. Thank you,
That's the new
Dave.
catchphrase, fellas.
Oh.
Write it down.
Oh, wow.
We meet again.
Huge demand on that one, you think? Or
I'm working on it. We've had ahoy. We've had hello, everyone.
we meet again.
We meet again.
Did it get through the focus groups? Have you tested this one?
I did test it.
Okay, good.
I did test
People love
this
it.
one. Yep.
People.
More often than my blood.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
I think.
Or Eric Swalwell gets tested.
Yeah, he really should be tested a little bit more. We love Eric Swalwell. He's great. He's great for content, I will say. He is, of course, a horrible, horrible congressman from California, currently running for governor. And I guess technically the favorite, but dropping. Here is the poly market of this particular race. Eric Swalwell at 41%, but down from about 60% chance of winning that race.
Is this a graph or the sound lines of him farting on mic?
That could be. It does look that way.
It's very musical.
It is very musical. In
Yes.
fact, we do have that. It is a very famous clip. It's probably the thing people know most about Eric Swalwell.
I bet he farts during sex, which is why he had people sign NDAs.
Yeah,
It's like, listen, this is kind of a thing I do.
kind of a thing.
I know you're a Chinese spy, but actually he doesn't know Chinese spies. He finds out later.
It's retroactive.
It's got to. I don't blame him. It's a very Bond thing to do.
Right. I mean, James Bond was sleeping with women that were often his enemies.
He usually tried to kill him after sex.
After sex.
Which is odd, because you think you'd want to kill him before you actually had to have sex with the person.
Right.
But then they always fell for him and then tried to murder him.
Yeah. Was he just that bad? Maybe the whole thing was going fine, and then they started having sex, and they were just
that's
turned off.
true. Yeah, she was like, this was he hit me a lot during this. Like he choked me.
I want revenge. I need to set up an elaborate plan with him on a table with a saw, very slowly moving toward him as we leave the room.
Yes, we need to have lasers for some reason, which aren't a thing in this time period.
Oh. They will be in the future, though, so we can make sure that they look really bad when people have them.
Take a long time to kill you, roughly 70 years.
70 years. No, but they'll get there eventually. Oh, here, by the way, here is, if you've never seen this before, Eric Swalwell, and it's clear, it's an important thing to understand. He denies this. He denies that he farted in this clip, when it's quite obvious he did. Watch.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from...
Wait, was that did someone enhance that? Was it always that bad?
I remember it being more sloppy. I think they toned it down.
That was like the PG-13 version.
It was.
That fart.
I would have taken credit live on TV. That's the level of class and grace I like to bring.
Yes,
I would have been like, by the way, did you guys get that? All right.
Right.
And then there would have been no scandal.
Right.
He would have owned it.
I think people still may have noticed that, Dave, if you were to blurt it out like that. Get up and look down at your chair and see if there's anything there.
No, I would say I did it.
Okay.
You got to own it.
Well, I know, but I'm saying you're checking for how messy the particular act was.
Well, if I sharded, I don't think I'd admit to it.
Okay,
I'd probably
that's
just
your line.
pretend the camera was malfunctioning or there was an earthquake. It would definitely Man, that would be the worst. It would be funny if he did. And that does sound like a potential shart. I don't.
That was a lot.
As someone with IBS, I want to let the audience know this.
Oh, I'm glad this is.
It's very important.
On day 3,
and I know sounds, and it does sound as if it could be a shart. He might be Eric Shartwell.
It's possible.
Yep,
it's very possible. Can we get that one more time? The fart, is that possible to bring that back up?
Because hear it again.
It really was a magical moment of television.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from
he lifted.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
He lifted.
If you have that moment where you're looking and you're trying to get through a complete sentence, and then it's you have that kind of if you're doing that, it's obvious it was you.
Unless he's sitting in an old rocking chair in front of Cracker Barrel, there's no way that wasn't.
No, his shoulder. I mean, you could tell it was a powerful one. His shoulders go up.
Yeah, he felt it.
Yeah, it was a.
Well, that's what I mean. He clenched, so the potential for loose for it sliding out was up, or maybe it did too. Where he's like, "Oh, that one," because he does that where you're startled.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden you're like, I gotta walk backwards to the bathroom. I'll be back.
And I'm not sure that we need to dissect this all that much farther. But
I think we do. But go ahead.
But I was thinking that there's a specific type of fart or shart where it surprises you, you don't know it's coming. Most of the time, there's a roadmap, right? You got a GPS to a location, you know how close you are.
There's a bubble. Yeah, you feel some bubbling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this one looks like it snuck up on him.
It did. It was right. He was absolutely in a trance looking the other direction, and someone came behind him and, yelled surprise for his birthday party. It was one of those.
Yeah, he didn't DoorDash Taco Bell
like
I did last night, which was the secret reason I ran late today. But he
also the secret reason you have IBS.
Well, yeah. My dietary choices don't help my situation. The doctor's not like, you should keep eating the way you do.
No.
Ever.
I will say, Taco Bell's just worth it. It's just, frankly, it's just the truth. And we can all sit here and deny it. We can act as if we're above Taco Bell. We can act as if many, many times on my way home, I don't stop a mile away from my house and sit in the parking lot eating before I go home.
Yeah, the shame
embarrassment.
eating.
But I don't care. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not, Dave. It's great.
I know.
It's freaking awesome.
I used to do it with drugs, and now I'm just doing it with burritos.
And actually, it's less healthy. Somehow you've actually made the drug habit less healthy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true, though. I'm watching Preacher last night. It's the show that I never watched because I like the graphic novel.
Okay.
Turns out I like the show. It's a good show.
That's good.
So I'm watching into the second season. It's 11 p.m. and I'm like, I'm hungry. I have a DoorDash app, and I got myself some Taco Bell. I mean, I paid for it through my crazy night terror dreams, which you get.
Yeah, sure. But again, worth it.
Dude, I don't regret
fantastic.
it.
It's fantastic. And I will say there was a time where laziness limited you from going to Taco Bell. At 11 o'clock at night, I'm not going to get in my car and go all the way there and sit through the drive-thru and look at someone. I have to actually have an interaction with someone where I'm admitting that I'm ordering Taco Bell right now.
They can see me.
Yeah. There's a shame that went along with that.
I'm not drunk.
Right.
They know you're doing it just because you want to eat
You're in your car. You're not swerving. This is more disturbing. Usually they have to have super wide drive-thrus at Taco Bell.
They do.
People are kind of
swerving. You notice some Taco Bells have put it in where you can't get out, you can't escape. That's the yeah. So I think it's because they want you to know it's like Mario Kart. You have to stay in this lane.
Yeah.
Because Taco Bell really is for drunk drivers. Not anymore. Now there's Uber and stuff. But in my day, it's where you went to sober up.
To Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great piece of advice for all children out there looking to their futures. Make sure when you're driving drunk, you go to Taco Bell to sober up.
That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
I mean, but don't drink and drive.
No,
but
don't.
if you were in the 90s, you would have done that.
In the 90s, everything was fine.
Yeah, well, I was in Detroit. What was I going to do? Ride my bike home from the bar?
Definitely less safe than driving drunk.
Yeah.
Now, apparently spending time with Eric Swalwell also not that safe. Former staffers are now making all sorts of accusations. Left-wing staffers, by the way, not evil conservatives who are trying to take him out for this primary. I don't know if you've watched this primary at all. Why would you? But the way the California one works is the top 2 candidates. They have a whole field of people that can be from any party. And the top 2 candidates advance to a final round which is like the primary election or the general election. What's interesting about it is there's 2 Republicans in this race, and they both have like 11%, and they're
solid.
and they're like in second and third place because there's so many candidates. So there's a very small chance that someone like Eric Swalwell, who was supposed to win this race, could fail and have a scandal like this, come down, and it wind up being everyone split below them at 10 and 9%, and the 2 guys at 11% wind up being. So there's only 2 Republicans as choices for the governor.
For California.
Which I just would absolutely love.
How do we get to this? Where you have Gavin Newsom into a guy who's known for Fartgate and is known for Chinese spies and now has NDAs.
Yes. These NDAs are interesting too because it's based on these allegations they don't sound great.
If you have a woman sign a document that says you didn't have sex, it means you had sex.
Really?
You're better off not. Who brings paper? Like just me coming in here today to work, I'm like, we haven't had sex. If you could just sign
evidence.
I just have to do this with every woman I meet.
Well, because that's not creepy at all.
Like that, it's the most irrational thing I've ever seen.
Well, you don't think though there is a modern thing that happens in the world. And again, I'm so happy I'm out of the dating world and all of that. I'm long past it. I've been married forever. But like, if I was dating today, I would be terrified that every jilted girlfriend that I had was going to go on the internet and say something terrible about me. Like you never know. Like I think there's been a lot of these Me Too claims that were not real at all. I mean, some of them were.
Oh, no, some of them were, and then some of them weren't. But that was the problem, though. It did light a wick for everybody to go after people. That was the problem with it, because they came up with "believe all women," which is the
single dumbest phrase of all time.
Yeah, which is an absurd... And we ran with it for a minute, though.
I didn't run with it. You didn't run with it.
I wouldn't want to be in the dating world. I've never taken a picture of my penis and sent it to someone.
No.
Because I wasn't around for those days. I mean, other than the Polaroids I would mail randomly to people.
Well, yeah. And by the way, thank you for that.
You're welcome. But those are my Christmas cards.
Right.
But
happy to be on the list. It's not. I will say,
it's Merry Christmas written in red. This isn't good. I'm not putting this on the fridge.
Is that lipstick on it?
Yeah, that's
the cell phone issue. I think the fact that they were not around during your childhood is an incredible benefit for your life.
In prison.
You probably would.
For real.
Because, I mean, the stories that you've told me, the stories you've written about in your great book, Party of One, I don't know how many of the details or specifics, or I'm sure the names are all changed.
Yeah, for the most part, some are real.
Some are real.
Yeah.
But you have a way to kind of shield at least the ongoing criminal activities against your friends there.
Correct.
With the pictures, you didn't have that. I don't know how kids get through today.
No, we have like one picture I put in the book where like I have a cigarette hanging out of my mouth. There's a few where I've been drunk and there's been drawings on people's faces. But if we pulled out like real drugs and we're holding up a bag and somebody pulled out a camera, we would be like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Right.
Like we would break it.
Yes.
There's no way we would want this evidence to be put out into public.
This is not the approach today.
And I used to work at a place called Speedy Photo.
Okay.
And I promise you, people did not mind bringing in things to get developed.
You saw some things?
I saw things. And then I would have to ring them up, and I'd just stare at them like, "These are your pictures, you creep. I know everything about you."
There's a layer of denial when you were going, like I remember Photomat was the one I remember.
Oh yeah,
similar, right? Like
same thing.
Hour long, those little booths they had, at least in the Northeast. Yep. But it was one of those things you had a little layer of denial that man, this person's not looking at this. He's just a person doing his job. He's not going to look at the photos. But in reality, you were looking at the photos.
Well, they're developing them, so you have to see it, right? And then I'm going to look at the photos because I'm going to open every envelope that comes my way and look at the pictures.
Right.
because I'm sitting there all day without a phone at this time. So I'm high and bored.
Not a good combination.
No, so I saw.
You didn't actually develop the photos.
No, I just ran the cash register, and by that, stole a lot of money.
My guess is Speedy Photo no longer in business because of you, not because of technological
It wasn't.
developments.
It was because of me and two other guys that worked there. And I apologize to them to this day that I ruined their business.
Yeah, right.
We didn't take that much, just, probably $1,000 a week.
Oh, that's it. Just $1,000 a week.
So bad.
And that's not adjusted for inflation. It was $1,000 back in the 90s.
Oh, no, it was, in the 90s, bro.
Okay, good. We didn't get to the actual Eric Swalwell. Let me give you the actual charges.
My apologies.
Only talked about his NDA and his farting. But we also should talk about his sex with Chinese spies, which is part of this as well. But apparently more sex for Eric Swalwell, according to Gen Z for Change. How would you like to meet them? That what a wonderful evening it would be. Just a wonderful conversation it would be talking to them. I'm sure.
Just to sit around with, oh boy, what is it called?
Gen Z for Change. So you have the annoying left wing for change thing, and then you're only talking to people from Gen Z.
I'm excited about all of it.
Yeah.
The generation that's actually getting dumber. They proved it. They said that it's actually going, now intelligence is going down.
Because they don't, and it's so hard because when you have kids, you totally try to motivate them to think about things, right? Like, don't just ask Alexa. Think about it. Don't go to Chat GPT. Use your brain to work through it so you can have some sort of ability to do this on the fly. They don't even think it's necessary.
I hate that you can't have a conversation with somebody without them Googling it and then pointing out like one slight wrong thing you said. And you go, yeah, I know you have Google. It's the same thing on the internet where somebody cuts and pastes a response. You're like, that's not... You didn't do that.
It's even getting worse. Now they're just like, hey, Grok, is this true?
Yeah.
And then they just, that's it.
Yeah, and then it's...
Just like Grok just telling you.
And we're just relying also on all these companies to be giving you the honest backstory.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, Google it, because they're not at all biased.
Not at all.
In any way. Whatever they say, deem as solid evidence. It's absurd.
I came up through radio, is how I started. And about 80% of the programming on radio at that time in the 90s and into the early 2000s, before we really got even into the Google world, was basically people going, hey, remember that guy who was in that thing? And then 47 people would call, and then they'd all say different people, and you'd argue about it for the next 2 hours, and then the show would be over. That was radio in the 90s. Now, you can't have those moments because people just want to solve it immediately for you. You can't just argue about whether you're right or wrong anymore.
And I'm that way where I'm like, don't tell me. I'm going to figure this out. I want to know. I remember one time my friend and I were driving around, and we were trying to figure out Benicio del Toro's name because he was just in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And we knew he knew it, but we couldn't figure it out. So we called information. And we're like, this is not a prank, but we just want to know if you know who. And we explain, and she goes, is it Benicio del Toro? And we were like, you got it. And we were all happy. And it was
a great moment.
It was a great
of human
moment.
connection. That's gone now.
Yeah, and she was happy. We were happy. Yeah. And we tried for like good 20 minutes before we called.
Oh, that was the most frustrating. I will say being able to solve those for your own sanity is kind of nice. But we lose that. You want to be able to eventually know the answer to it. But that conversation was part of it. Now, I still haven't told you what Eric Swalwell did.
It's true.
How about this? We'll try this. We'll take a break.
Okay.
We'll come back on the other side, and I'll tell you all the people that Eric Swalwell has been sexually harassing. Next. All right, you know how dogs have these little things that they do that you don't really question at first. You might think something's wrong, but I mean, they're dogs, right? They're scratching, they're head shaking, they're licking, coughing. They're doing all the things.
They're licking things they shouldn't.
Right. That is the life of a dog.
Yeah.
Right. And you kind of chalk that up to, hey, this is what dogs do. But then it keeps happening, and after a while, you kind of think, oh, maybe I should be a little bit more aware of what's going on. Is my dog trying to deal with something that's a little out of balance? That's what got me looking into BetterWilд Allergy Relief Soft Chews, because for a lot of dogs, those kinds of issues actually start in the gut, and these chews are designed to support digestion and help restore balance from the inside out, which in turn makes things like the skin and the immune response and overall comfort improve. The nice part about this, it's not like you're taking your dog and like trying to force a pill. You know, you have those pill pockets.
Yeah, where you jam the pill in and then you try to cover it in peanut butter.
Yeah.
And you got to fight with your dog and you're trying to hold its mouth shut.
Yes, and then your hands smell like whatever concoction they've made that out of, or the peanut butter. It's not pleasant at all for the owner or the dog.
And I don't want to bring up dogs and peanut butter in an ad read.
I don't. Please don't.
Okay.
I'm asking you nicely. The good thing about these is you don't.
You just give to them.
Yes, you just give to them.
My dog Higgins loves these.
Yes, they all. I think every dog loves them because they're basically just like treats to them. So they'll sit, they'll shake, they'll do all the things you need to do, and it will make them actually feel better. You can make it so it's whatever they're reacting to can be alleviated a little bit. Right now, BetterWild is offering our listeners up to 40% off.
How much?
Up to 40% off.
That's a good deal. Honestly, the dogs love these.
They do. They really
Mine
do.
don't do tricks. I pretend they do. I'm like, spin in a circle that you're confused. Here's your treat.
Just do that naturally.
Yeah.
BetterWild.com/Stu. BetterWild.com/Stu. Up to 40% off right now. BetterWild.com/Stu. Look, Eric Swalwell may have done something terrible, which is very important for us to get to, Dave.
Okay.
We can't delay any longer.
Let's do it.
And this, according to the very honorable and very dependable source of Gen Z for Change, they are apparently a very far left-wing group, which of course is not a shock. They're so left that they think, I guess, Eric Swalwell isn't left enough. So that's the source of this, just to be clear.
I see.
They think Eric Swalwell is just too conservative.
But if they're going after him for the right reasons,
Look,
we got to side with it, right?
I'm just saying that even if it's not true, I think I still signed with Gen Z for Change. When it comes to Eric Swalwell, I will make an exception on the truth.
Yes.
Even if it's a lie, but it hurts him, I'm kind of okay with it. What kind of person does that make me?
I honest. Weirdly
Okay,
enough,
okay.
the lie makes you honest.
The lie
'cause
makes
you're
me- okay.
honest about the lie.
There we go. So
An honest liar is better than a lying truth teller.
there you go. Absolute. Wow.
My mom
Can we
used
put
to
that?
say
Is that the first T-shirt of the show?
Yeah,
What is it? We'll go back. We'll get the exact quote and we'll have that on a mug.
I just say brilliant stuff. Yeah, that belongs on a cup.
Okay. I'm telling you about this now. Are you ready, Dave?
Ready.
This is a quote from one of the people in this group, the Cheyenne Hunt. She's the group's executive director. She said, Eric Swalwell has slept with many of his interns and makes them all sign NDAs so they don't speak up, right? And when I was 19, he tried hitting on me and sliding into my DMs. And I have so many other friends that have similar experiences with him. Look, again, I don't know if this is true. To be honest with you, I have no idea. They could be sinking him before a campaign. Usually accusations made a few weeks before a campaign, I am very skeptical of. However, this just sounds like Eric Swalwell. It's exactly who I think he is.
Well, this is a man who had sex with a Chinese spy, right?
Yes, Fang.
Which we talked, Fang Fang.
He denies that too, by the
How
way.
do you meet someone named Fang Fang and think they're on your side? Also,
I mean, there's the two things that cut into your neck from a vampire.
Yeah, or a wolf. Hi, I'm Fang Fang. Oh, this doesn't seem suspicious.
But again, it doesn't seem like he cares, at least according to Gen Z for Change. He's just going for everybody.
Well, if you're sliding into DMs, that has to be the stupidest thing you can do.
Yeah.
All you have to do is screenshot that.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you have all the evidence you could possibly need by going, this is him sliding into DMs.
Right.
And then the NDA, of course, as I've said, means you did it because you had them sign something that says you didn't.
Right. That is the typical thing you might do, especially if you have the power to do it, right? Like most people would, I think if you go out on a date and you're like, hey, can we sign an NDA about everything that we do tonight? Probably the date just ends.
Immediately.
I would assume. But when you're Eric Swalwell, you've got a bunch of 19-year-olds who want to be in politics. They think you're, for some reason, sane, which they shouldn't.
No.
But their parents obviously were horrible people, so they have some...
It's just a casting couch, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Where they just come in, he's like, what can you do for me? Mm-hmm. All right. Why don't you sit down?
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those videos, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because I don't even know what you're familiar with.
No.
You're even saying there.
The Eric Swalwell casting couch.
No one would sign up for that site.
No, they wouldn't.
They-
The cushions stink from when he sits on it.
The smell of the room where the casting couch
Alone.
exists it's hurting me physically as I sit here. I'm not even in the room.
It's the whole interview. Like, it's just him passing gas and then going, "Did you hear that? If you say no, you might get the job." He's unbuttoning his shirt. He just seems like that guy,
worst.
though.
We should delete this show from. This is
should
only
keep
running
it.
live. We're not going to keep this one on YouTube
Oh, yeah, we're keeping it.
because of the smell of Eric Swalwell's room, and that is going to infect your actual nostrils. Just the description of it, we may have. This is going to get banned from YouTube, I think.
He's just giving her tacos. He's like, what can you do? Let's have a little band sesh.
Yeah.
Little jam sesh.
Okay, so also.
Sorry, I'm very immature.
No, really.
I know.
Wow.
It's hard
again,
to believe.
Yeah.
But I do just picture him and an intern. Yeah.
Because it would be very creepy. I mean, everything Eric Swalwell does is creepy.
Yeah.
His interviews in normal political circumstances always come off as creepy to me. So
Do you think he'll still win, though?
it would be the most California thing possible to put him as the governor of that state. Like, you'd think you couldn't get worse than Gavin Newsom, but I think Swalwell would actually accomplish that.
Oh, I think he would be worse.
Very difficult to do.
Which is very hard to do. Well, and it's sad because I actually really like California, especially at one time, and I feel bad for the people that have to deal with this.
I do too.
I genuinely do. Like, it could be such a great state, and at one point felt like it, like little liberal things.
Yeah, well, it's weird because we think of this all the time, like, oh, it's a blue state. And what does that mean? It means that, oh, there's a bunch of people who are Democrats there and they run everything and everyone's a Democrat. Just like they look at Texas and say, oh, it's a red state. But being here, there's plenty of liberals that live here. Something like mid 40% consider themselves to the right of center in California, right? I think it's like, they typically get 42 to 45% of the vote in these elections, even when they're blowouts. I think the Gavin Newsom recall was 55-45 or 57-43, something like that. And that's a big margin for an election, but that's a lot of people who are affected by their terrible neighbors voting for the worst people in the universe.
Yes. Well, and Bret Easton Ellis, who wrote American Psycho that we were talking about yesterday, actually wrote a book called White that I highly recommend if anybody, even if you listen to it, I think you'll really enjoy it. But a large part of that, he does talk about the people that he knows in the wealthier class of LA and how everybody votes red. Everybody votes with their pockets.
Oh, really?
And it's very fascinating how he puts all of it because it's a very, I would say, factual, autobiographical. But there's so many people I also know personally in California that are that way.
Yes.
You have to play this certain role.
Right.
In public, but that's not at all who you actually are behind the scenes.
Yeah, for a long time, I don't know if it's still active, but there was a group of Hollywood conservatives that would meet for like dinner once every month or two and just like say, hey, we all exist, right? Like they weren't out necessarily out of the closet, if you will.
Yeah.
They were just conservatives who actually believed conservative things, but were afraid because of their jobs to say anything about
Reagan, or people that, there were plenty of people that were involved in the movie industry that were that way.
Yeah. I always remember this, though, from it was some offensive lineman, and he was talking about
O.J. Simpson.
That's it. I mean, he
wasn't one, but
he had some other issues, and also not an offensive lineman, of course, as you know.
I know, he was a murderer.
He was offensive and a murderer. But that's it. This offensive lineman was talking about how in college, all of his friends were super liberal. Like they were always on the liberal side of every argument. It was always the rights this and rights that, and all these things that would not be allowed to be said on BlazeTV. We'd censor them immediately. And but what he said was the funniest thing is when they get that first paycheck in the NFL, all of them turn into Republicans.
Of course,
it's immediate. The second they see the top line and then the bottom line, it's over.
It's the cop-out of, and I've heard this my whole life, I am socially liberal but fiscally conservative.
Right, yes.
Which means I'll let you get gay married, but I'm not going to send a check.
Right.
It means...
It's true.
It means
exactly.
nothing.
It means nothing.
It just means I don't care what you do at all, and I actually would like to hang on to the money that I make.
Right.
Which I think is most people anyway.
It's most people. I do think that most people are like that. With certain exceptions. I mean, you can't do certain things. If certainly like kids, transing kids, like
There's that. I
there's
mean,
all
there's
sorts of stuff
these
like that.
things that are crazy, obviously. But yeah, you don't. Yeah, but I mean, like,
Mostly, I just want to be left alone and let me take the resources that, for whatever reason, this place pays me to do this stupid thing, and let me do what I want with it.
yeah, like I give money to St. Jude. I give certain donations every month to animal shelters, and and St. Jude is obviously a children's hospital, and I like that children's hospital because they're not like, hey, we're sawing off right and left, making vaginas. Come on down to the children's hospital. I
Actually,
donate
on the sign,
because they save
St.
children. Yeah, like they save kids.
Yes,
And that's something that I think is noble.
a positive
Yes.
development.
Yeah, it's
And
like
they're not.
non-kill shelters because you see like those three-legged dogs.
Yeah.
Or you ever see those paralyzed dogs where they got the wheels in the back?
Oh yeah,
It's the saddest,
horrible.
greatest thing though. It's like you gave this dog a second chance.
yeah.
The thing's just limping around like Lieutenant Dan for most of its life, and then all of a sudden you give it a carriage.
Yeah, you give it almost like a Stephen Hawking treatment.
Yeah,
It's great.
It's the best. Except the
wonderful.
dog's way more moral than Stephen Hawking.
The dogs are like, no, I'm not going to Epstein Island.
Kidding me?
What are you talking about?
I got
All right.
all I need right here. I got wheels, baby.
The good thing about this, though, Dave, is we're more than halfway done with the show, and we got to one story.
We should switch it up. That's my fault.
Let's do that right after this. There's a viral image going around. It is reportedly, I mean, honestly, it looks a little like AI to me when I look at it just visually, but it's reportedly a real receipt with a note attached to it. It was a bill for $577.36, a restaurant. And it is, the tip is $60. So you're just over 10% on that one.
Yeah.
And there's a note that apparently came with,
Bernie?
what's that? No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not Bernie. It says, and so you know, I was expecting more like a $120 tip on a bill this size. Thanks. So that's reportedly no. Now, I will say my initial reaction to every single, here's a viral picture of a receipt story is it's not real, right? Like, I don't, like a lesbian waitress always is like, I don't approve of your lifestyle, 4%. You know, like I never believe it. It's always the person who's the waitress trying to get attention.
Yes.
This one, I don't know if that's the case because it's not really being presented that way.
Yeah, the ones that are real are usually like Post Malone will give a waitress like 20 grand,
Yes.
which I think is cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Slash does that. He has a cup of coffee and leaves like 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool. So like,
I love that.
yeah, but this does definitely look like it's trying to get people to fight. Now, if she did really write this, it could be her manners and the way that she served them. She could be not great at her job.
So you're saying she deserved the $60 tip?
No, I mean, look, I was a server. So if this was my bill, I would probably leave like in the ballpark of 150, probably as a tip personally. But I always tend to over tip because I know what it's like to work in that industry.
I feel the same way. I one of my first jobs was working at like a Chili's. And
Oh, wow.
I think all the time about,
I didn't know you were famous.
hey, I also got a 97 on a secret shopper score once.
Did you really?
Yeah, I know. And
Where'd
then I
you
got
secret
fired 2
shop?
weeks later.
Really? Where'd you shop at?
No, I was. They had secret like diners that would come in, and
Yeah.
they would go to your table, and they would go through the experience, and then they would have to fill out a survey, and they would report it to Chili's.
Oh, really?
And I got a 97, which was amazing because I was absolutely terrible, Dave. I did not do any of the things that I was supposed to do that they trained me to do. I just tried to get the food shoveled into their mouth as fast as possible so I could go home.
And the secret shopper usually wanted to complain so they could keep being a secret shopper.
Right. And I don't know how I got it. And then legitimately 2 weeks after that, I got
Did you ever have the people that came in and they were like, look, I'm a secret shopper. Let's figure this out.
Right. Yeah.
I had that several times.
Did you? That's how I would have done it.
Like at Speedy Photo where I'm like, yeah, I just robbed them. How can I help you? But yeah, with this, I also don't know if it's one of those restaurants where they get paid a lot. Because now they're doing it where they pay the servers like 15 to 30 an hour. So maybe it's that where you don't necessarily have to tip
Chili's
big.
did not do that. Chili's,
No.
Chili's was $2.14 an hour, I think it was.
No, you felt Chili's.
Yeah.
I made $3-ish when I was a server. I want to say ish. It was probably less.
I think it was when I was doing it, and again, a little bit before your day, You were still, I think, scooping pills out of a pharmacy where you were working there when around this time. But I was, it was legitimately, I think, like $2.14 an hour. And then there was this whole thing that now I didn't partake in this, of course.
No.
But there were some servers there that basically would just take like 10% of sales and act like they just got 10% tips all day to report it to the government.
Sure.
That's the way that industry operated at that time. If you're not, or me, of course, I over report. I told the government I made $80,000 a year just so I could give them more because I love the work they do.
Well, that's what I do. I always way over report.
Yes,
It's because I've had to learn the hard way.
yeah. Well, I mean, once you get into this industry, you do. I
do,
we're right
for
around
real.
tax day. I talk to my accountant every year. She says the same thing. Yeah, I know. Don't go any close to any lines because I'm like terrified. I'm assuming I'm going to get audited all the time, and then I never got audited. I worked with Glenn Beck for 30 years and didn't get audited until Trump got into office, and then I got an audit.
Same. That's when I first got audited.
How is that possible?
I was like, aren't you the guy that's not going to audit me?
Right. The whole reason we wanted you in office. I don't care what else, what country you're going to, porn stars, whatever. Don't audit me and lower my taxes. But I mean, it was fine. Everything.
Had I written off a private jet, I would have been. It's crazy to me how much money they wanted.
Oh yes, it's true.
They think you have. You're like, what are you talking? And also, look at how much the dollar is taxed.
Yes.
Like the dollar
this.
they're tipping you in this has already been taxed from their job. Now it's going to you. That's why I don't care about taxes on tips. I think they should take it home, especially if you're making $2 an hour.
Right. Oh, I mean, it's a weird. It was policy wise. There's some complications to it. I don't know if it's worked out exactly the way they projected.
Right.
When I understand, this is the first year you're going to notice this. If you're working on tips, this April 15th, you're supposed to get a much bigger refund. So the government will hold on to less of your money for a shorter period of time, and we're going to thank them for it, which is a bizarre thing we do in April.
Right.
But that is where we are, right? And I don't know. I think overall, it's a pretty polite note. I don't know. I feel like maybe you do call if you should be getting 20%. A nice note like that maybe does help. I did wonder at times, working in the Chili's world,
Yes.
if some people just weren't maybe aware of how much they were supposed to tip. Maybe they didn't know how to calculate percentages.
They could have not. They could have bad parents, but I feel that if you have a $525 bill, I think you have the money to tip appropriately.
Yes.
That's part of it. Like if this was a place that was like, $30 and they left it 50 cents, maybe it's all they had and you let it go. But this is definitely the kind of restaurant with that kind of a bill where you should know how much to tip.
Yes, you should. And also, I will say, another place to know.
Or don't go eat.
Yeah, exactly. Taco Bell, DoorDash, right? Like do that.
You can do that. That's also $60.
I spend more than $500 instead of $37.67 or whatever it was. We have a story about bathhouses
Oh, good.
as well.
You mean the thing that sounds clean but is the dirtiest thing ever?
Yes, and we'll get to that next. Well, back in the 80s, early 80s, there were bathhouses spread all across the wonderful city of Minneapolis.
Yeah, there were.
And
Or as Tim Walz called them on Sundays, church.
that feels true. That one just feels, that actually seems like a real, like from his autobiography or something. I don't know if you read it.
Yeah, of course.
The
last waltz.
At the time in the 80s, Dave, the bathhouses had a lot of sexual activity.
Okay.
Yes, I know I'm explaining this to you for
A lot of lawyers with lesions claiming they were hit with racquetballs.
Yes, exactly.
You remember.
Yeah, you remember.
Okay.
And it led to some issues that were not necessarily positive.
AIDS.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. That's 5.
Among many, a plethora an absolute cornucopia of STDs that came out of that era.
Correct. Yes, it says public pressure and laws, but also pubic pressure.
Yes, pubic pressure. That's
Yes.
So high-risk sexual conduct was seen as an issue at the time. So they closed these places down. They said, hey, maybe you don't gather at a bathhouse and have sex with random people constantly.
Right.
Now, that's good advice legally. It depends on where you fall on
Morally.
what you allow, right? But Minneapolis is doing now the same thing because we seem to have recovered from some of those issues, thankfully.
Yes.
Minneapolis now is going to consider bathhouses that allow sexual activity again. Will they make them legal? This is exactly what you'd expect Minneapolis to be doing with their time right now, when they're not just empowering fraudsters from Somalia to steal all the money of the taxpayers. They are now going to allow adult bathhouses and sex venues to operate again after a 38-year ban.
Well, yes. Well, you need a new place to launder money. But there's also, it says here too, now I didn't write this, so I don't know, but it says applying for a permit is John Elton, and he plans to call it the Alex Preddy Memorial Bathhouse because you're guaranteed to take shots in the back. So I don't know how accurate this is.
Oh, I have this story, and I don't see that in here anywhere.
I didn't write it. Media Matters. It says they did.
They did.
Yeah, they wrote it.
Because I'm reading the Star Tribune story we have for this segment, and
We have different ones.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
That's good to have.
Because again, I didn't write that, so to have a clip pulled would only blame the people who did. But yeah, it seems to work. I don't think it's a good idea.
You don't.
But there's been so many bad ideas there that I say, maybe go for it.
It seems like a better idea than electing Tim Walz.
Yeah, there's a lot of Leering centers that are now abandoned. I mean, they were abandoned before, but there was at least a sign.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least it's good to see a nice brick and mortar open up again in these days.
It's nice to see.
Yeah.
It's nice to see. Everyone's going online these days.
Dick and mortar. Oh man, so many people watching this are confused.
No, I know. Some of them were like, hey, when is Stu going to talk about budget charts again?
Yeah.
There's half the audience right now is like, gosh, I mean, I was wondering, are they going to break down the farm bill?
Yeah, and the other half is like, there's Dave.
There he is. He's here. He will be here every single day, I promise, with more of the types of...
And again, this is not anything that I wrote. I'm just reporting.
Oh, no.
I'm reporting the news.
No one's accusing you of that.
Thank you.
At all. Just like no one's accusing Eric Swalwell of sleeping with Fang Fang.
No.
No one's doing that.
Or being able to fart on cue. Farting the national anthem.
Our congressman with the best gastrointestinal fortitude that we know is Eric Swalwell, as you heard. Because that seemed like that. We played that fart at the beginning of the show. It sounded like it would tear apart a normal man.
Oh, hallelujah, in the words of Medea.
All right, back in a second. Head to blazetv.com/Stu and Dave. The code is Stu and Dave 45, I think, still. Yeah, look at that. There it is. Stu and Dave 45. You save $45 off with that promo code on your annual subscription to Blaze TV. We have a chat that goes on. You can go and jump in there.
We're going to get some sketches in there, too.
Some sketches coming, huh?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, very exciting. I can't wait for that. We've got Pee-wee, who is going to give us a comment. He says, you guys are knocking it out of the park. This is my new must-watch show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Eric writes, love the new show. It's just going to get better. I don't know about that. I feel like we'll probably lose interest in week 2 or 3.
Eventually.
So, yeah. So it'll probably, it's starting good and then it probably fades.
The House of Cards.
Spud McKenzie writes in, I am so happy these two got together, decided to do a show. Thank you so much. The J Sheriff writes, Dave, love the stash. Gonna have to come and see some stand-up this year. You are all over the country as usual. Where are you gonna be?
Thank you. This weekend, you can see me April 10th in Columbus, Ohio at the Comedy Attic. April 11th, you can see me in Rochester Hills, Michigan at the Roxy. That's with my friend Michael Loftus as well. That one is close to sold out, though. And also April 17 and 18, the Comedy Club of Lawrence, Kansas. And I did have to move my Hawaii date. I want to let people know if they had tickets. It was for this month. We're moving it to August, but I will be back to the Blue Room in Hawaii in August.
And it's not like people plan their trips to Hawaii or anything. So
they did.
Change your plans whenever.
I did.
You did. All right. Well, we have much more to come this week, including a bunch of things that I don't know what they are yet. But we will tell you about them during the show, which is why we have the show in the first place.
Yeah.